Cool.
All right, Neil Singh, how are you doing today? What are you drinking?
Drinking a rainy days, hazy IP, something like that. Hazy days.
Oh, okay.
Hazy days, I think. But it's from Rainy Days.
Rainy Days Hazy IPA.
No, it's not. It's from Silver City. It's a Tropic Haze. There we go.
Oh,
it's a
okay.
Tropic Haze,
Haze from Silver City.
I drink local. Hopefully the water's from around here.
Yeah,
that is a situation that happens. I was very disappointed actually to realize that Rainier beer is manufactured in like California or something now.
Yeah, and now isn't Russians the one that own Rainier and Pabst?
Oh, really?
I think so.
So it's just a Russian beer.
Yeah.
That's probably it's probably not even
you're
real
trying
water.
to support local because it's called Rainier or Silver City. Tropic Haze was one of my favorites, but I can only have one of those. It tasted great the first time, and then the second one was just...
Well, it tastes like a crushed up Advil. But that's just that's how you know you're drinking an IPA.
It's a local favorite too. People love it and gobble it up.
You know what? I remember when I switched to craft beer drinking, like people would, because I would just say, oh, it's like bitter. It's called the International Bitterness Unit.
Yeah.
Right, but people would be like, oh no, it's complex. And I was like, well, yeah.
And then you throw in the malts, like how sweet is it? And then sometimes the malt can give it a bitter taste too, even though it's supposed to be a sweetener.
Yeah.
But
no, they get those fruity ones. Yeah. Anyways, yeah.
The Silver City had a Scotch ale.
Mm-hmm. The Wee Heavy.
Oh, I don't know if that's what it's called. No.
Oh, okay.
No, it's called. I think it was called the Scotch ale or something. No, it was a green label. I don't remember, but it was my jam. I used to fucking throw those things down like they were nothing.
I've been to the Silver City breweries. I think it's like an 8 or 9%.
Yeah.
Kilt lifter, if you will.
It's so good. I'm drinking a ginger ale. I made it 30 days without drinking a soda, and then I accidentally drank one earlier today. So now I'm off the wagon.
Oh, that's good. 30 days is pretty good.
It's a little discouraging because I didn't notice a damn difference at all.
No, really?
Yeah. Didn't lose any weight.
No weight, just, yeah.
Didn't feel more energized or anything. Just, no hope for mankind.
Well, as far as sodas, I mean, if you quit something more drastic, maybe
yeah.
if you quit smoking crack for 30 days and don't notice the difference.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you didn't, then you got like big issues. Then you got to go to a professional, I would imagine.
Quitting crack was easier because I was locked up for 30 days, but having free will and choosing to not drink soda was quite challenging. So
yeah, that's fair. Soda's pretty good.
Yeah. So speaking of sodas and beers, what's up with these LA riots? Can you fill me in on what I'm missing here?
Well, I mean, it's hard to say, right? Because it depends on what news network you watch these days as to whether it's like full-on calamity and LA's collapsing, or whether it's just, I think of like a 5 square mile radius of activity that includes dancing and people protesting, but also, there are some bad actors that are burning cars or, and it's like tough to say who the actual bad actors are. But
you don't land a gig in LA for a long time.
Well, definitely not in that 5.
you got a chance to make a difference. Participate in a innocent protest.
But I think the whole thing is they're okay.
Who do you think instigated the violence?
Well, okay. I mean, from the stories, from what I know, and I'll admit I don't know a lot about stuff.
Yeah.
But from what I think, Donald Trump, the president, was like, hey, we're going to deport, 721 million illegal immigrants that Biden invited in, right? Yeah, because he needs to do a record number of things. So, but what I think the issue is this is the reason, and I'll say this on a podcast, this is the reason I don't like President Trump as a president, is he doesn't know what he's doing.
Yeah.
If you want to deport 21 million people that are illegal, you know what? I can see both sides of that, argument. What I'm saying is, if you want to deport 21 million people, don't start by announcing it on Fox News. Just start deporting people.
Yeah.
Just go to their house in the middle of the night or whatever ICE agents were doing under the Bidens and Obamas and every other president that's ever been around, right? Or ever since ICE has existed, right? Whatever they were doing to deport people, because they were doing it in much more a much more efficient manner, without all the hoopla, without riots in the streets, right? But I think it was the announcement of it, and now people are chasing
Yeah.
around ICE agents, being like, "Oh, that person, right?" And then that creates this like thing, and then you send in militias and the National Guard, and it just escalates the situation. And then all the talk on TV, right? You have like the governor of Arkansas chiming in on what she feels about the LA situation. And it's like, well, shut the fuck up. Like, worry about. I don't even know. Little Rock? Yeah, Little Rock. Worry about Little Rock. I think that's the only place in Arkansas that I know of. And I'm not trying to degrade Arkansas. Maybe it's a great place. Probably not. You know what I mean? But what I'm saying is I don't know. You're the governor of that place. What are you chiming into this other situation for?
You've never even seen an ocean or a beach of any kind.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're not even near the Gulf of America, so what the fuck, dude?
Why are you chiming in?
Yeah.
So anyway, I think it just fuels these flames, and then just kind of like with Trump 1 situation, the first president, right? Like things happen, and then Proud Boys show up, and there's other people wearing waving around swastika flags, and then they're like, oh, they were peaceful, and these are and it just becomes a whole mess. Right?
Yeah, I feel like.
So I think that's what's happening.
I feel like going to California or LA and sending ICE there is like going to the most volatile place to try to deport people.
Well, I mean,
families are so rooted there, right? And
and there's like this long immigrant culture that exists,
and now they coexist with citizens.
I mean, I think they're trying to target what people were calling sanctuary cities in the past.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, they're going to come to Seattle and Portland and all that kind of stuff.
And then to be surprised when you get
backlash.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Yeah, and then to resist those protesters with more violence and instigation. Once again, these are all hypothetical. I will readily admit, whenever I hear, oh, there's a riot somewhere, I'm like, oh, okay, now there's a place I'm not going to go to for a while.
Yeah.
I
did hear on the radio, I don't know how much truth there is, that one of the places that ICE raided in LA was a middle school graduation.
I heard it was an elementary school graduation.
Elementary school graduation.
Yeah, because they got some okay. So once again, this is the stuff I've heard or whatever, so it's not substantiated. Don't cancel me. No, I'm just playing. You can cancel me. I don't give a shit. That'd probably give me more notoriety.
Yeah.
than when I currently roll with. Oh, Neil Singh got canceled. They had to first look up who Neil Singh is. Yeah. No, but basically, Trump set up a big number to try to achieve. Once again, Biden, Obama deported people with much more efficiency, with larger numbers, especially in their first, however long, 6 months of being in office. They both did it.
Yeah.
But somehow this guy can't seem to do it because he's just pronouncing it. You know what I mean? He's just making it a whole spectacle of it, which is alerting people to what's happening. And then now, but they have to, instead of going through the traditional means, meaning like they used to kind of catch people at the border and deport them. Right.
Yeah.
Or they would
arrest them for drugs. Or
right. They would go
violence.
through the prisons or the local jails and find out who's an immigrant or whatever, and then deport them because they're now officially a criminal.
Yeah.
Right. And they just kind of came in and they didn't know how to get these numbers, so then they started raiding workplaces. And I think probably the elementary school graduation is probably an exception. Right, they're not, they're not rating every single one.
No, but they're probably going for legacy. They're trying to get the parents and the kids in one.
Right, so they're trying. Yeah, they're trying to swoop up and get multiple people in these raids because they need numbers. It's kind of like when how like cops have ticket quotas, right? So at the end of the month, you should probably drive a little safer because that's when they're trying to get the numbers for the end of the month.
Yeah.
So I think the ICE folks are under this pressure, right, to just generate numbers, And
and
then of course, and then they've deported people to El Salvador in the prison, so there's press on what they're doing, and there's just too much transparency. They just need to shut the fuck up and do their work quietly.
Yeah, it's interesting because I feel like if they actually were going against and looking for criminals to deport, I think that'd be a little different. But it seems like they're just trying to meet those numbers, like you said, and it's a horrible look.
Well, because they've gone now with the rhetoric that being here in the country, period, is the illegal act for which you are. You should be labeled a criminal.
On the economy
or whatever. I mean, you're here illegally. That's the law you broke. Therefore, you're a criminal.
Yeah, it's good to see that the ICE raids in LA are going just as well as the tariff deals that are going on, because it seems like the price of everything is going up.
Yeah,
And
but no, that's the cost of patriotism.
yeah, I guess. And I remember them saying, "Oh, it's going to be great in the long run or the long term." It's like, oh my god,
Everything with that. I mean,
I'm not even going to be
with,
here.
with this whole administration. Everything's going to be great in the long run. Everything.
Yeah,
Everything
should be.
Everything will be great in the future, unless COVID happens again, in which case, we won't be able to actually, realize any of the gains we were talking about, right? but
At least we know who to invest in if COVID happens again.
Right.
All the big corps to make money off of COVID. So.
Oh, the AstraZenecas of the world, and
and the
Johnson &
Amazons and the
all
the
the
mass
delivery
companies,
folks,
the sanitary companies, all that stuff. So yeah.
That's true. All we need is money to invest.
Yeah, no shit, right?
And then,
yeah, exactly. And then we'll be on to something, boys. And then when the COVID part 2's over, we'll be rich enough to open our own comedy club.
That's my spare $10.
Yeah. Well, part of the reason why Remedy was so successful was because they opened like right at the right time. 2021 of June, right when the economy slowly started to reopen, because so many businesses tried to hang on for that whole year and a half of surviving to reopen, but some of them didn't. A lot of businesses went under.
Yep.
And then the businesses that wanted to start before COVID but never did, but then once the economy started to reopen and then open like Allison did, poof, icing on the cake on that timing.
Oh yeah, because people have money saved up and and they're itching to get out.
Yep. And there was a huge draw because it was new, it was exciting. People were looking to get out, have a good time. And it's been 4 years now, and she's still doing a good job here at Remedy. So.
Oh yeah, Remedy's a great place. Great food.
Great food. Great drinks.
Yeah, their mixed drinks, fantastic.
Karaoke
Liquor
most
selection.
nights. Great staff.
Pretty good comedy situation.
Yeah,
too.
comedy every Wednesday night, sometimes on Sundays and other nights as well. So yeah, the comedy open mic's going for 4 years now, every Wednesday night. So yeah, that's pretty hard to do.
Yeah, just have a mic.
Long running open mic, in town, especially Bremerton. Bremerton can be so fickle, with turnouts and talent and stuff like that. But 4 years strong. Granted, it's not as strong as it was a couple years ago after COVID, but yeah, we're trying to get back to that point again, so we'll see.
Maybe there'll be a big influx of people.
Yeah.
Then we can have our own LA riot.
Yeah, exactly. Send ICE to Bremerton, then we'll start a little protest. Keep it peaceful, and then...
What would ICE do in Bremerton? They're just going to go to, taco stands?
They'll probably deport Thomas Friday.
just send him back to the Cherokee
What are you
Nation.
talking about? I'm native. Yeah, you can't do that. Actually, you're next. But
Just deport him back to Oklahoma.
Yeah. Where's the Cherokees from? Where's the Blackfoots from? Cool.
I've always felt that too. Instead of deporting people, because it's costly, right? They always talk about how much it costs to deport people and blah blah blah, right? So instead of that, right? If they catch you illegally here in this country, once again, I understand this concept. If I go to Disneyland on a 1-day pass and I'm there 3 days later, they should kick me out, right? So I get it. What I'm saying is, if they catch me doing it, just I think they should send people to Oklahoma and be like, you know what, you have to live here for 5 years. And figure out how to make this economy work, and you can't leave here. We'll just build a wall around Oklahoma City, and then once that city's built up, we'll build up another city, I don't know, South Dakota. Not even a city. The whole state can just be built up with immigrants, because nobody else is living there anyways, right?
Yeah.
So
I like it. Hey, you should run the campaign and have that be your slogan.
They should make you marry an American. Right, and then that'll restore the order. That's, for a lot of Americans, that's the way they liked it. They're like, oh, foreigners can come in here if they have to pay the price.
Yeah. Cool. Well, I think that concludes this random podcast outside of Remedy that we decided to talk about drinks, ice, and
deporting Thomas Friday.
Deporting Thomas Friday. You better hope ice never comes to Bremerton, bro. So yeah. All right. Have a good night.
All right. Yep.